Good evening with your news also simulcast on Face FM 106.7. I am Joanna Rodriguez. Tonight, the tension between Belize and Guatemala over the shooting incident that occurred on Wednesday evening, which resulted in the death of a 13-year-old Guatemalan minor, continues to build. A report issued by Guatemalan press Prensa Libre yesterday evening describes the incident as to have played out on Wednesday at around 6:30 p.m. at the adjacency zone, where a father and his two sons were planting pumpkin seeds when they came under fire by members of the Belize Defense Force. The report continues by stating that the 48-year-old farmer identified as Carlos Alvarado and his sons, 11-year-old Carlos Alvarado and 13-year-old Julio Alvarado, were shot multiple times, and that the BDF carried away the 13-year-old boy who had received several gunshot wounds to the body and later died in a hospital in Belizean territory. Other allegations are that another individual identified as 38-year-old Jose Maria Antonio Reyes was also captured in the adjacency zone by soldiers and remains missing. Now, that was Guatemala's version of what transpired, but a release issued by the government of Belize told a different story. In their release, GOB stated that initial reports revealed that Belizean security forces were on patrol in the Sabada area of the Chiquibul National Park in western Belize to investigate illegal clearings when at about 5 p.m. they detained without incident 33-year-old Guatemalan national Jose Maria Antonio Reyes, who was found conducting illegal activities in the Chiquibul National Park. As darkness descended at about 7 p.m., the patrol came under fire and in self-defense returned fire, then decided to depart from the location, which is approximately 580 meters east of the border. The release further stated that prior to departure, Belizean security forces conducted their standard clearance procedure and discovered the seemingly lifeless body of a minor, later identified as that of Julio Alvarado. The minor was transported to the nearest hospital, where he was pronounced dead. In a bold and countering release posted earlier today on their official Twitter page, the government of Guatemala outrightly rejects our country's version of the events given about the shooting death of the Guatemalan minor. In their release, Guatemala recounts the results of the autopsy conducted on the 13-year-old by forensics in Belize, highlighting that the boy received a total of 8 bullet wounds, 4 on the back, 1 on the right side of the underarm, 1 on the neck, and 2 below the neck. The wounds, according to the release, were inflicted by a high-powered M4 type rifle used exclusively by the military. According to them, the results from the exam does not express anything about whether the deceased child had fired a weapon which would have caused the BDF to act in self-defense. This information is yet to be confirmed by GOB. The release also has attached to it a list which names a total of 10 Guatemalan nationals who have allegedly been killed by members of the Belize Defense Force dating back to 1999. Viewers might recall that in response to President Jimmy Morales' statement made yesterday, the government of Belize reminded Guatemala of the shooting incidents at the hands of Guatemalans that caused the death of Dana Conorque and left injured Sergeant Richard Lambe. To this, the Guatemalan government responded by challenging our government to provide proof that Conorque and Lambe were actually shot by Guatemalans instead of making accusations. When it comes to the Belize-Guatemala long-standing territorial dispute, the Organization of American States plays a very important role as mediator. Yesterday, the OAS Secretary General Luis Almagro, while in Belize, mentioned that the best way to solve the dispute is for both countries to agree to take the claim to the International Court of Justice. And today, the same recommendation was made. In a statement released today, the OAS General Secretariat issued their input on the incident that occurred on Wednesday that resulted in the death of the 13-year-old Guatemalan minor. In their release, the OAS, quote, repudiates the death of a Guatemalan minor at the hands of a Belizean patrol and urges both sides to redouble efforts to establish lasting peace in the adjacency zone between the two countries. The statement goes on to say that the OAS has agreed to investigate the death and make its final reports available to foreign ministries of both countries. The Secretariat also reiterates that its recommendations that both countries carry out the procedures provided for in their respective internal systems as soon as possible, to hold referenda on the decision to submit the territorial controversy to the International Court of Justice, stating that this is the only viable way of resolving the dispute in a peaceful and permanent way. Late this evening, the spokesperson for the U.S. Department of State, John Kirby, also spoke on the shooting at the Chickaboo. The release stated that the U.S. Department of State is deeply concerned by reports that a child was killed and 2 family members injured in a disputed area between Guatemala and Belize known as the adjacency zone. The U.S. State Department urges calm and restraint by both sides and calls for a full investigation of the facts surrounding the shooting. The U.S. Department of State also encourages both countries to cooperate fully with the OAS Adjacency Zone Office and to continue engaging in the confidence-building measures agreed upon in 2005 and express support for both countries to continue efforts to hold referenda on referring the territorial dispute to the International Court of Justice. The latest incident at the Chickaboo has heightened tensions across the country and has caused public uproar from residents of both Belize and Guatemala who have expressed their sentiments all over social media, where even threats have been made. Here in Belize, all eyes were in the west, where the border between Belize and Guatemala lies. While word was that the border would be closed, it remained open. But information reaching our newsroom is that everyone was on high alert. Meanwhile, at the Price Barracks in Ladyville, Minister of National Security Honorable John Saldivar met with Commander of the Belize Defense Force, Brigadier General David Jones, Rear Admiral John Borland, Commander of the National Coast Guard, Acting Commissioner of Police Russell Blackett, and the CEO Colonel Retired George Lovell of the Ministry of National Security met in a strategic military planning session in preparation for the meeting of the National Security Council that was held this afternoon, where the Prime Minister joined the meeting via telephone from New York City, where he is attending the signature ceremony for the Paris Agreement on Climate Change. Barrow had confirmed with the President of Guatemala, Jimmy Morales, that an unbiased investigation regarding the incident has begun and is being led by the Organization of American States. Barrow also suggested that Morales should seek assistance from the U.S. government in order to set up a criminal forensic professional that can provide the necessary expert information to the OAS. Barrow also emphasized that the Belize security forces were fired at, therefore resulting in the response to a self-defense. Both parties came to the agreement that they will look into the matter and seek a solution to the problem as soon as possible to do away with the tension that is continuously escalating. Barrow took the opportunity to express his condolences for the loss of the minor. Barrow also met with the Deputy Secretary General of the UN, to explain what transpired as a result of the incident and requested that the UN assist in urging both countries to respect the confidence-building measures. The Belize security forces, however, remain watchful as they execute their responsibilities, and the lines of communication are still in place between both countries. The Prime Minister returns on Monday. A press briefing will be scheduled to address the issue. The Prime Minister briefed the NSC on the meeting he had with Guatemalan President Jimmy Morales in the margins of the meeting at the United Nations headquarters during the Paris Agreement signing. The Prime Minister confirmed to President Morales that an impartial inquiry into the circumstances surrounding the incident had begun and is led by the Organization of American States, OAS. Prime Minister Barrow recommended to President Morales that assistance be sought from the government of the United States to deploy a criminal forensic expert providing necessary technical expertise to the OAS verification exercise. He reiterated Belize's position that the Belize Security Forces patrol was fired upon and only responded in self-defense. While both leaders may maintain their versions of the incident, they both agreed that there is immediate need to de-escalate the tension, and both agreed that all measures will be taken to achieve that and to ensure there are no breaches of the peace that currently exists between the two countries. Prime Minister Barrow took the opportunity to express regrets to the unfortunate loss of life of the minor. While at the United Nations headquarters in New York, Prime Minister Barrow met with the Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations and apprised the United Nations of what has transpired and the increased tension between both countries, and requested the UN's good offices to urge both sides to respect the confidence-building measures. He also met and briefed the CARICOM Secretary General and the Prime Minister of Barbados. Prime Minister Barrow also spoke to the OAS Secretary General via telephone and updated him on the situation surrounding this issue. The Belize Security Forces assured the NSC that they are on a heightened state of alert and will remain vigilant. The lines of communication remain open between the Belize Defense Force and the Guatemalan Armed Forces, and our international partners and allies remain fully briefed on this situation. Prime Minister Barrow gave an audio statement which has been circulated to the media, and he will address the nation at a press conference on Monday after he returns to the country. Today, the executive team from the People's United Party held an emergency meeting at the PUP headquarters in Belize City to discuss the incident that occurred on Wednesday evening involving the Belize Defense Force and the Guatemalan civilians, and also to respond to the statements made by Guatemalan President Jimmy Morales. Immediately following the meeting, PUP representative for the Belize-Guatemala dispute held a press briefing where he stated that the PUP strongly condemns the aggressive statement made by the Guatemalan president.
The People's United Party condemns in the strongest possible terms the aggression by Guatemala by amassing troops at the border. We also condemn and reject its assertion of sovereignty over the Sarstoon. The deployment of its naval and military forces in the Sarstoon constitutes a threat to peace and security in the region and between our two countries, and that is a breach of international law. The party continues to express its concern about the way in which this whole issue is being managed by the government. We have already expressed to the government our concern that the government of Guatemala is not acting in good faith and that we cannot continue to take them at their word. We continue to express concern about the way in which we appear to be focused solely on going to the ICJ, whilst at the same time the facts on the ground are changing and changing to our detriment.
According to Courtney, the shooting of the Guatemalan miner does not justify the actions taken by Guatemala in sending over 3,000 soldiers to the adjacency zone and the Sarstoon.
The death of a young person, regardless of who is at fault, does not justify the action that Guatemala has taken in the SARS Stone. It does not justify massing 3,000 troops and ammunition and equipment along our western border. We have to see this for what it is. This type of behavior started before President Morales was elected. There have been a series of incidents, and this is just the culmination. He grabbed on to this death as the basis and justification for advancing his new military, full frontal military approach towards Belize. That is a story that the international community needs to understand, that the response of the government of Guatemala is not only disproportionate, but it is designed by military men. It is designed by a president who is held hostage by generals, and that they have adopted a non-peaceful approach to their relations with Belize. The international community needs to understand that, and the international community needs to be persuaded that Guatemala needs to change course drastically and very quickly.
The PUP also made a call to our international friends to join Belize at this dangerous hour in history to reaffirm and guarantee Belize's sovereignty and territorial integrity, and to join in condemning the Republic of Guatemala for its flagrant breach of international law. As for GOB's response to the incident and their response to the President of Guatemala's statement, the PUP believes that they are being passive and allowing Guatemala to intimidate them. According to Courtney, GOB needs to address the issue in a more aggressive and effective manner, and Prime Minister Dean Barrow needs to address the citizens of Belize to assure a country that a war is not coming.
Attack on our territorial integrity and our sovereignty by the Republic of Guatemala at a time when our Prime Minister is out of the country. Now, nobody can blame him for that. Obviously, he had traveled already. The situation is this: we have not heard from the Prime Minister personally. We have not seen the Prime Minister. And in this day and age, that can easily be arranged, and it is his duty and his responsibility to address the Belizean people and to give them confidence that this matter is being attended to and that we will remain safe and secure. We have not even heard from the Minister of Foreign Affairs. The Minister of National Security appeared to be, in my view, somewhat contradictory in the positions and statements that he was making. What the Belizean people want now is an assurance, not that we will go to war, but that war will be avoided, that every effort is being taken to ensure that there shall be no breach of the peace. And we call on the government to do so, to give the people that assurance. We want to see, we want to hear from the leader of our country.
Courtney also reiterated the PUP's willingness to work hand in hand with government to find definitive solutions for this issue.
We think as a first step, we should recall our ambassador to Guatemala, to Belize, for consultation. We made that request before and that suggestion before, and we repeat it now. We also believe that the government of Belize needs to activate the Organization of American States, the Caribbean Community, the United Nations itself, and in fact the Commonwealth, and to have the issue placed on their agenda on an urgent basis so that we can get resolutions from these organizations that affirm the respect for our territorial integrity and sovereignty. And finally, we call on the government to arrange at the soonest and earliest possible time a meeting between Belize and Guatemala at the highest level, with the OAS present in order to reduce tensions, to remove the threat of Guatemala to Belize, and to return to a state of normalcy. In that regard, we again pledge our support and our willingness to participate with the government of Belize.
Today, the Belize Chamber of Commerce and Industry also weighed in on the incident at the Chicken Bowl by citing that they regret that 13-year-old Julio Alvarado fell victim to the ongoing territorial dispute between Belize and Guatemala, and that President of Guatemala has taken this very unfortunate circumstance as an opportunity to justify escalating aggression towards Belize and seeking to take control of the adjacency zone. While the BCCI regrets the circumstance, they state that Guatemalan civilians are not entirely without fault when they trespass into Belizean territory and use aggression towards our security forces. That very aggression, says the BCCI, resulted in the shooting of Staff Sergeant Richard Lambie on the 26th of March 2016 and the untimely death of 20-year-old Constable Dana Conner-Kay on the 26th of September 2014. Both officers were injured while discharging their duties in Belizean territory and while exerting no aggression towards any person. The BCCI is of the belief that it is imperative that there be a proper investigation into the death of Julio Alvarado and that every attempt is made by our government to protect the integrity of our security forces if the death of the 13-year-old was indeed the result of an act of self-defense. At the same time, BCCI condemns the irresponsible and inflammatory comments made by Guatemala's president prior to any proper investigation into the death of Alvarado. BCCI calls on government to take the strongest possible diplomatic measures to highlight and to protest Guatemala's escalation of aggression, as well as the rhetoric of its president, including briefing our international partners and friends every step of the way. On the matter of human rights, Guatemala and its president should be called upon by members of the international community to honor the commitments made under the confidence-building measures, as well as honor other international commitments guaranteeing every child the right to an education and the outlawing of child labor, says BCCI. Finally, the Belize Chamber of Commerce calls on all political parties to keep in mind that threats to our sovereignty supersede party politics, and it is therefore imperative that they unite in the face of such threats. Coming up next, with tensions high at the Sarstoon, will the BTV carry out trip in commemoration of the 157th anniversary of the 1859 treaty? And Belize celebrates Earth Day. Stay tuned.
Vibes Alive International, in collaboration with Divas Under Construction, presents Zumba Invasion 2016. Get ready for a 4-hour dance-a-thon featuring world-class professional Zumba instructors such as Noemi Parra from Dallas, Texas, Aaron Diaz from Chetumal, Mexico, and Emmanuel Robinson from Belize City, Belize. Special stage performance by Filipino the Dancer, renowned professional Jamaican dancer and choreographer. It's all going down Friday, May 6, 2016 at the Crystal Palace Auditorium in Orange Walk Town, Belize. Doors open at 5 p.m. for registration. First session kicks off at 6 p.m. T-shirts and souvenirs, door prizes and giveaways galore. Music and entertainment by Vibes Alive International, featuring DJ Big Boy and DJ Mix, with special guest DJ, DJ Che. All dance groups and the general public is invited. Proceeds go to the Orange Walk Concert Group. This event is sponsored by Courts, Caribbean Rums, Fiesta FM, Nahil Mayab, Progress Street Glass Shop, Cocina Sabor, De La Fuente Hotel, American Fashion, JB & Sons, Perstitution Studios, Sarah Cabañas, Blanca Rivas, Roger Martinez, Raul Celis, and Miss Meredith Castro.
Want to promote your business and increase your revenues? Advertise with Centaur on any of our 4 outlets. CTV3 News, Despierta Belize, Fiesta FM Radio, and the Information Channel. Our rates are unbeatable. For more information, contact our sales representatives at 670-9177, 664-9438, 663-5585. 670-1275 or contact our office at 302-2216.
Having a congestion problem? Not with Smart's 4G LTE. Experience the free flow of data with Smart. You will always have the speeds you need and more. So don't be fooled by the fake, barely there 4G. Experience the power of Smart's 4G LTE right now.
Now open Mirka's Elegant Furniture and Appliances, where you can shop for that beautiful piece of furniture or decor you have been dreaming of, such as bedroom sets, dining sets, TV stands, sofa sets, sofa beds, entertainment units, china closets, wardrobes, bureaus, desks, rugs, mattresses, mirrors, wall art, and much more. Take advantage of our payment terms with very low service charges. Come see yourself at number 6 Westby Street, Orange Walk Town, near the New River Enterprises Limited Complex, Sawmill. Or call us at 322-2225 or 322-3373. Opening hours are from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Mirka's Elegant Furniture and Appliances, making your household dreams affordable.
As we had mentioned earlier in the newscast, the Organization of American States, OAS, today issued an official release concerning the incident that occurred on Wednesday that resulted in the death of a 13-year-old Guatemalan minor, in which they reject the shooting death of the minor at the hands of Belizean military. Today, during the press briefing with PUP representative for the Belize-Guatemala dispute, Eamon Courtney, he spoke about the statement issued by the OAS, calling it unusual.
In my experience, the OAS does not issue statements like this without the knowledge of the relevant countries. I took a look at that statement and I was struck by the language that was used by the OAS. It points, in my view, to, let me be clear, if that document, that statement was shared with Belize before it was issued, it points to the continuing mismanagement of this matter by the government. I am surprised that the OAS would issue a statement like that, particularly at this time.
The Belize Territorial Volunteers have planned a trip to the Sarstone in order to commemorate the 157th anniversary of the treaty that was signed between the United Kingdom and the Republic of Guatemala in order to distinguish the border between Belize and Guatemala. Due to the recent incident occurred in which a Guatemalan miner was killed, allegedly by the Belize Defense Force, one might think that the trip has been cancelled due to reports regarding the increase in number of members from the Guatemalan Armed Forces at the Sarstone. However, the leader of the BTV, Will Mejia, told us that he visited the border earlier this evening and the reports seemed to be false, for he witnessed the same amount of soldiers that are constantly found within that area in particular. Mejia also highlighted in his interview that the trip is still on board, as he strongly believes that as Belizeans, we must stand in solidarity to protect our country.
I think that we cannot allow Guatemala to dictate our pace. We will continue to push forward to ensure that Belizeans know and remember that 30th of April, which is next week Saturday, and in 1859 was the day when our borders were drawn. This trip is definitely on, and if people want to go, they should get in touch with me at 610-0978 or send me a Facebook message. But the trip is on. We will leave from Barranco. That's going to be our staging area. And we ask people to kick in a donation for the fuel of about $30 each. And the trip is on. We are going to the Sarstone next week Saturday.
Mejia also gave his input on the speech that was sent out by the President of Guatemala, Jimmy Morales, and indicated that Guatemala is sending out a clear message to Belize that they are taking a stand as opposed to our Prime Minister, who until late this evening addressed the general public of our country about the current situation.
I believe that the speech that was sent out by President of Guatemala, Jimmy Morales, was really reckless. And again, I think it sends a clear message to Belize that Guatemala is not playing by the rules. On the other hand, I think that Belize continue to appease Guatemala. And I was hoping that our Prime Minister would have been on the radio dispelling his speech and pointing out to the fact that the Guatemalans were the first one to incite violence by killing Danny Canarque and shooting the BDF Sergeant Lambe. I mean, our Prime Minister never got on radio or television and make any kind of a clip like General Morales is doing. So I think that, what we as Belizeans need to do is put party politics aside, unite as Belizeans and stand up to the bully Guatemala. And we cannot allow Jimmy Morales to get away with what he has said. I mean, he clearly said that it was the 13-year-old was killed by a Belizean soldier. I mean, he have no idea. Everybody confirmed that there were fires on both sides. So the kid could have been killed by friendly fire as well. No, nothing has been done so far to determine if it's a BDF bullet that killed the kid. So, and I think again, this is where I'm calling our government to stop being soft and to get out there and clear the air and begin to stand up to Guatemala.
As mentioned earlier, the trip is arranged to take place on Saturday, April the 30th. For individuals who wish to attend the trip on that day, they are kindly asked to contact Mejia at phone number 610-0978. The government of Mexico has also conveyed their input on the current situation between Belize and Guatemala in sight of the recent shooting of 13-year-old Julio Alvarado, allegedly by the Belize Defense Force. In a release issued this morning, the government of Mexico laments the incident but trusts that the Organization of American States will conduct a full investigation into the matter to determine who is responsible. The Mexican government also reiterated its support to the joint efforts of both countries in resolving the territorial dispute and the work of the OAS in this regard to ensure a peaceful resolution is reached. The Orange Walk Institute for Technical and Vocational Education and Training held their expo and trade fair today at the school grounds located on the San Lorenzo Road, where each student had the opportunity to demonstrate a portion of the many things that they have learned during the course of the school year. This morning, as the organizers welcomed the general public, our news team visited the campus where we observed many energetic and intelligent individuals as they presented their hard work. According to the job placement officer, Myrna Sentimento, the main purpose of the event is basically for the community to witness the skills and talents that the students possess.
Well, our expo is a day especially geared for our students. This is a day for them to showcase and shine. They're showcasing their different projects in their respective fields. And at the same time, it's a day for our employers to come in and scout for employees, for future employees that can work in their company. And it's a day, also a grand event for our school because we market our institution at the same time.
There were a number of completed projects from the different courses that the institution offers. And while we strolled around the area, a few students were eager to explain their project.
Well, for the electrical, they're having a solar panel. There is a system, for preservation of electricity and energy. We have also the building and grounds maintainers who have used recycled materials that are used out of tires, which is going to use, for example, their building and grounds maintenance trays. And we have the CSR who have embarked on what they call a radio streaming. And we also have the different pre-vocational who have displayed different projects in their different areas and the different classes like life skills, math, English, and so forth.
Today we're doing solar panel. This project is based on how to do renewable sources, renewable energy. As you know, sun is produced every day during the day when we most need it. So the energy produced from the sun, we take it from the solar panel, convert it to AC current. Well, the benefits are that on the longer run, you won't have to pay as much current as you do right now on alternating current. And also benefits are that it is renewable resources come from the sun. And also benefits are the economic. For most people will be better. You don't have to pay enough money. Although at the beginning you have to invest, but on the longer run it will be better. You don't have to spend a lot.
We do the lava lamp. We use the ingredients water, food coloring, and oil and alcohol seltzer. Once we mix, we pour in the oil first, then we pour in the water. No matter any way you pour it, you still end up the same way. Then afterwards you put the food coloring, then you could just put in the alcohol seltzer. That for like how you could do it much better. Again, next way you could do it to the way that you could use instead of the food coloring you could use the highlighter ink as the food coloring. You put that and you could put a little light on top and it glow by itself.
Why is it that you decided to do a lava lamp?
And the easiest thing we could do is
we decided to make a volcano for our science project. So it's a different chemical reaction after the soda and the vinegar, so they can't join with each other. So that's why that make the eruption of the volcano.
At the end of the day, the turnout was excellent as many schools visited the expo, contributing to its success. As part of their early promotional events, Tropigas took the initiative to give away a sum of $12,000 to a lucky customer. With each purchase or loan that was made from the business establishment, clients got an opportunity to enter a raffle, and this year's lucky winner was Eamon Ramirez from the village of Champagne Ridge. According to the manager, Rochelle Tucker, this is done with the objective of demonstrating to the public that Tropigas has taken the initiative to give back to the community as a reward for being loyal customers.
We gave away $12,000 last year for the winner who won in Belize City. This year, we decided to do it again. It was a complete $24,000 package. And now we have the Orange Walk branch that somebody came and won it from here. So this is really good news. customers are seeing that we don't just have them come in and shop, but they could also gain from it as well. Well, every year we try to do a different promotion for our customers. 2 years ago, we had the motorbike that we did. We had 10 customers that won motorbikes. And now this year we're giving away hard cash, real cash in hand, right? So with every $25 purchase, customers get a chance to enter into the raffle. And this year we decided to do the live free, meaning that everybody has bills, everybody has something that they need to pay. And we say, you know what, why not ease somebody and give them some money so that they could pay off those bills? And that is why we decided to do it this way this year.
We spoke to the winner, Eamon Ramirez, who expressed his delight and astonishment as he could not believe that his name was picked out from the raffle box.
Gané $2,000 en boletos porque venía a hacer un loan y lo rifaron y salió mi suerte y gané. Siento todavía alegre. No tengo palabras para decirlo, pero estoy alegre, ¿no?
¿Y qué va a hacer con el dinero que ha ganado?
No sé, todavía estoy pensándolo.
When we come back, 77 Women's Group receives a much-needed assistance from BSI ASR. Stay tuned.
Like a small boat on the ocean, sending big waves into motion. Like how a single word can make a heart open. I might only have one match, but I can make an explosion. And all those things I didn't say, wrecking balls inside my brain, I will scream them loud tonight. Can you hear my voice this time? This is my fight song, take back my life song, prove I'm alright song. My power's turned on, starting right now, I'll be strong. I'll play my fight song, and I don't really care if nobody else believes, 'cause I've still got a lot of fight left in me. Losing friends and I'm chasing sleep.
Exhausted, come make we floss it. Me and my friend them chilling, we grilling, we drinking. Whole master over everything. Pop that, pop that, pop that. Chug that, chug that, chug that. Pop that, pop that, pop that. Chug that, chug that, chug that. Ask me what we drinking. Whole master, what you thinking? Pour some, season the chicken. The vodka, the gold, or the extra mature. Relax me, yes, we drink and live. Me I tell you straight, we don't drink and drive. No, drinking responsibly. Whole master, for you and for me. So what? Pop that, pop that, pop that. Chug that, chug that, chug that. Pop that, pop that, pop that. Chug that, chug that, chug that.
We rely so much on the internet. Shouldn't it be effortless? With Smart 4G LTE, experience an uncomplicated, smooth, accessible network of speed and reliability. Changing the face of mobile internet in Belize. Smart's 4G LTE has low-cost packages to suit your personalized internet needs, starting at only $35. And also offers specialized social media packages for as little as $15 for an entire gig. Dial Star Data to purchase a package. Visit your nearest Smart showroom or visit us online for more information.
St. Stephen Women's Group of San 7 Village here in Orange Walk Town was founded in December of last year by Marlene Vega under the theme, Empowering Women Through Learning, Connections and Laughter to Love the Life They Live and Create the Life They Love. The group was formed with the aim of organizing activities that seek to offer opportunities for the women of the village to improve their standard of living as they learn a new trade. The members of the group took the initiative to send out letters to a few business institutions to ask for sponsorship, and responding to their request was the BSI ASR, which granted them a sum of $500 to assist them in purchasing a much-needed tent.
El grupo comenzó con 6 miembros. No teníamos muchos en manualidades, ni en cake, ni en sewing. Primeramente yo empecé en ese pequeño edificio ahí, les di ahí adentro al swing porque necesitaban electricidad. Mientras tanto, el grupo de manualidades y de cake lo tenían que hacer en el sol.
The reason for BSI ASR offering a helping hand to the women's group is to help in promoting and encouraging entrepreneurship as it allows individuals to become self-sufficient.
Well, it's a small little donation to the women's group here in San Esteban, the St. Stephen Women's Group. They're just starting up, and they requested a little small donation to get a little tent for their crafts and so on. They're looking into women as entrepreneurs, developing their little crafts, their manualidades, their sewing and their baking. And so we thought it is a nice little project to support. They requested a small donation, and the donations committee at BSI reviewed it, and it falls exactly into our corporate social responsibility, and also because it's a sugarcane farming community as well. So we do want to support, women that have these types of initiative. We like very much the idea of entrepreneurship, and they are doing activities that will actually generate a little bit of income for their family, to support their family as well. So that is key, and that is what we like to see. More people engaged in entrepreneurship activities and building their community.
As mentioned earlier by the founder of the group, Marlene Vega, there are 3 different courses being offered, which includes cake decorating, handcraft making, and sewing. One of the instructors, Ophelia Novello, spoke to us about the trade that she is currently teaching to the women of the group.
I teach handcrafts, which is the things for bathroom, kitchen, and different recycled materials. Then we have a teacher that teaches sewing, and then we have another one that teaches cake decorating. And then it's a new group that they just formed in December, and in February they contact me to see if I could help the group. So I volunteered, and I said it's okay. So that's why we start coming every Thursday to give classes to the San Esteban group.
Today is a very special day for Mother Earth, as all across the globe people are celebrating Earth Day, which is a day dedicated to demonstrate support for environmental protection. In commemoration of this special day, BSI ASR, in collaboration with the Orange Walk Town Council and the Orange Walk Police Station, held a very special ceremony this morning for the official unveiling of the rehabilitation project of Independence Park. Many of you may remember that for several weeks we have been telling you about the rehabilitation project of Independence Plaza, where stakeholders created an environmentally safe area for children to enjoy while using safe and recyclable material to create an aesthetically pleasing site in a way that will not harm the environment.
This year on Earth Day, the Committee of Belize Sugar Industries, ASR, decided to take our sustainability efforts to the wider community. This time, our committee decided to engage in this park rehabilitation project that would demonstrate how we can use recyclable materials, such as tires that you see here today, pallets, and you'll never know where the pallet went in, scrap metal, to transform this park, at the same time to help eliminate waste and help develop clean, safe, and a healthy, beautiful place for our community. As we sit here today, it is a good time to look around and reflect on the gifts that Mother Earth has given us. As we look around this park, we see symbols of the support provided by ASR-BSI, the Orange Walk Town Council, who has also worked very, very hard in this project, the police department, and the Orange Walk community, who willingly came out and gave a helping hand in an effort to build a sustainable world. By doing this project locally and with our own hands, it is our hope that we will link up with the hands of all the millions of others celebrating Earth Day today, dedicated to a green and sustainable future.
According to Mayor of Orange Walk, Kevin Bernard, the project to restore the park was a very important one because not only does it stand up to a child-friendly municipality protocol, it also reminds all Orange Walkenians of the historic value that lies beneath Independence Plaza.
Today, as we celebrate Earth Day, we also celebrate the many benefits of partnerships and cooperation, of corporate responsibility, unity, commitment, and hard work. What you see around you here, a rehabilitated Independence Plaza, was made possible through the partnership and the acknowledgement that good things can come from all of us working together. Projects like these are particularly close to my heart because our council was one of the first to sign on to the child-friendly initiative. We are a child-friendly municipality, which means that we take our responsibility to the young people in our community very seriously. This park will be for you, the young people, a safe, secure space for constructive recreation here in town. It will be a place for families to bond because strong families build strong homes. More than anything, our youth need strong and stable homes. So there is a ritual history in where we stand today. We should all be proud of what has been achieved here today, a new entry in the history books for the Independence Plaza, which will once more play a significant role in the lives of our people.
In order to ensure the upkeep of the park, all stakeholders were required to make a pledge to work together to maintain the park in its present state.
On this Earth Day, let us go forth with our hand and our voices. And together, let's tell Mother Nature that we care for her. We hear her calling. Let's save this cherished Earth Day. And so it begins. Today, right here, right now. Earth Day is every day.
As your mayor and the Orange Walk Town Council, we pledge to ensure that there is proper upkeep and maintenance of this facility and that we continue to promote an environmentally conscious awareness within our town.
As representative from the Orange Walk Police Formation, our pledge is to maintenance and security of this park so that everyone can enjoy it, be it young and old.
After the official ceremony concluded, a special tree planting ceremony was held where all stakeholders planted a tree in the park as part of their commitment to create a more sustainable environment. This Sunday, the village of San Andres will be hosting the finals of Dr. Mike Chiropractic Cup, a 4-month-long six-a-side competition which started back in December last year with a total of 14 teams from Corozal and Orange Walk. This Sunday, 4 teams will be battling for the first prize as the competition comes to an end.
We will have 3 games out there this Sunday to close the final. As scheduled for this Sunday for the entertainment at 2 p.m. we will have a friendly game with veteran Corozal Legend versus San Andres FC. That will be players 40 years and up. And to start the Grand Dr. Mike 3rd and 4th, we have San Andres FC plus San Andres Rodi Cetina team. And for the champion at 4 p.m. we have Dr. Mike chiropractic team, that is Ranchito Rampage versus Haz Leod.
The finals of the six-a-side competition will have various prizes and medals for each individual player, says Chairman of San Andres Village, Glenford Melvin.
4th place will get $200 and team trophy. 2nd place will also get $500 medals for the players and a team trophy. And the 1st place will walk home with $1,200, $1,200 and team trophy and medal for the player. That is the prizes that the 4 team will go home this weekend.
But the end of this competition does not mean the end of a six-a-side, as Tortilleria Chicos and Melvin will be teaming up to start another six-a-side, with the first place winner receiving $1,000.
Well, this event will be at the San Andres football field starting from 2 p.m. with a veteran game, and we're only charging a fees of $2. And invited everybody to come out and support their teams, come and see a grand final. And after this is done this week, that will not be the end in San Andres Village, as me as coordinating sports for helping hundreds of youths out there. We will have the Tortilleria Chicos Fritos Choco Cup six-a-side that will be started the 15th of May. So I'm giving this invitation to all teams from anywhere you want to come. Registration is only $100. You can contact me at 663-7230 to register your team. And we have 4 fantastic prizes. Again, we have first prize will be $1,000 in cash and medals and team trophy.
Melvin invites everyone to come and be part of this event on Sunday at the San Andres Village football field. And before we end tonight's newscast, we invite you to stay tuned to Channel 53 of Centaur for the airing of Week 2 of La Voz Karaoke 2016, live from Club Charisma. Tonight, Group B takes the stage and 1 participant from Group A will be eliminated. Who will it be? Stay tuned to find out. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Monday, April 25th, here on CTV3 and Fiesta FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at CTV3BelizeNews.com. You can also log on to a Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com/CTV3BelizeNews. From all of us here at CTV3 News, have a safe and pleasant weekend. Thank you for watching and listening. Good night.